Happy Sunday, guys. Welcome to the Full 100. This is a quick addition to a video that I recorded on Friday, just gone. Today is Sunday, the 20th of December. On the Friday, the 18th, I recorded a video calling out our very own Black Trump, Louis Farrakhan, about his fake messages and his scaremongering and his attempts at keeping his congregation on lockdown in their minds. Unfortunately, to explain my video, I played the video that I was criticizing that he put up. I was criticizing that video, but I had to show clips of it. So I had 3 parts of it on the original video. YouTubers deemed it not acceptable, not because of what I said, but because of his video. And of course, I agree with them. But in order to bring my video alive, I had to, for those who may not have seen the video, I had to include that video. So what I've decided to do, guys, is I've decided to remove his crap messages and remove them, re-edit the video and give you this part and add this part basically to the video, so that you know when you open it, you know that you're missing bits. And the bits you're missing are the bits of his rubbish that he's spewing. And the reason I thought about doing it this way is because I think my message was more important than his video. So rather than let the video stay off air, I decided to let the video go back on air for those who have seen the video and for those who might see his video. So if you have seen his video where he's saying they're going to exterminate 6 billion people like a muppet, where you're going to put 6 billion dead people, right? 6.5 million Jews were killed. That's 6.5 million. Multiply that by 100 and you've got 650 million. That's not even a billion yet. And this guy's talking about eradicating 6 billion people. This is how nuts they are, and that's why I got fed up. So if you ever see that video, this is my response to his bull crap. Okay, guys? So enjoy your Sundays and enjoy the video, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye. Welcome to the Full 100, the last edition of the week. It is Friday the 18th of December, exactly a week before Christmas today, guys. Unfortunately, I have a very, I have an important show. Just call it an important show. Let me say this: we, as a world community, the last couple of years has been about calling out bad behavior, calling out snake oil salesmen, calling out pedophiles, calling out predators. And when I say predators, I'm not just talking sexual predators. Today I'm calling out a predator in the black world, who's on such a high mantle in the world that no one actually questions him anymore. And I'm fed up of that. And I'm going to tell you who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the so-called Honorable Louis Farrakhan. As far as I'm concerned, Farrakhan is as bad as Trump. They're the same people. I ran into a video that somebody sent me 2 days ago, Wednesday night. And after watching it, I decided I was going to do a show and call him out today, Friday. Guys, the video that he put out there, I've broken up into 3 pieces. The video was about telling you not to take the vaccine, the devil's vaccine, telling you all of this stuff. No one notices that all this guy ever does is tell us what to be scared of, tell us about the devil, tell you not to take the vaccine. But what's the solution, Mr. Farrakhan? You're telling them not to take a vaccine when they're dying at the rate of 3.5 to every white person. 3.5 black person dies before 1 white person dies. We're watching a regime that took the policy secretly of herd immunity, knowing the data and the victims were going to be more ethnic black people, Native Americans, than his fellow white people. This is a regime that's happy to sit back, didn't take any measures, and just allowed the disease to run rampant in his country. Luckily for the world, we got vaccines. And you sit there and tell them not to take it. But you don't tell them to protect themselves. You don't address the millions of your people that are dying. Mr. Farrakhan, today is your day to be called out. I'm tired of snake oil salesmen like yourself. Let's get down to today's show, guys. Like I said, no one notices that all this guy ever does is try and keep blacks in the slave mentality. All he ever does is pop out when there's something for, when there's a profit for him when there's some kind of advantage to keep himself in the same position that he loves. We see violence on our streets, on your streets, and our streets in the UK, but mostly on your streets in Chicago and numerous cities. I don't see you ever coming out and talking to the youth on the street. I don't see you sending your Nation of Islam operatives to educate these guys, to see what their problem is, to give them money. You're sitting on so much money, you never go out there and feed those who are selling drugs to survive. We watched you around. You were around during the crack epidemic in your country. You did nothing for your people. You've been around through all of this unlawful killings that we're having. And it's only the civil rights leaders that I ever see come out to talk. But whenever there's an opportunity to call the white man a devil, you're there though. How many of you would like a teacher who steps in a classroom and says to you, "No, Jonathan, 2 + 2 doesn't equal 5, and walks off? Doesn't tell you what 2 + 2 really equals to. It just says, no, it's not 5, and walks off. Can you imagine if we all taught our children that way? No, son, you can't eat with a knife, and walk off. No, son, you do not play football like that, and walk off. No, son, you do not throw a ball like that, and walk off. That's what this guy does all the time, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people like you who pretend that you're there for your people, but you're flipping not. All you're interested in is keeping your status. The most you probably do is build more mosques. But you know what happens when people build more mosques or more churches, right? It's just another branch of the business to generate more money, more wealth. With all the wealth you have and the nation has, your country's in a crisis of evictions coming up in a minute, because this government that you call evil, I think you're as evil as Trump. To me, you are no different to Trump. Your nation is in a crisis with evictions coming up in a minute because this administration failed to extend the relief to allow this to happen. Do you know what percentage of black people are going to get evicted out of this whole crisis of when the eviction holiday ceases? Do you know how many percentage, Mr. Farrakhan? 80% of those who will be evicted are your people. Are you addressing that in videos? Are you going and handing out rent relief, like giving them money to pay their rent? No. Are you hiring lawyers? Have you got your team of Nation of Islam lawyers going in each state trying to fight eviction for them? No. Are you giving them a solution to the vaccine you're telling them not to take? No. Are you telling them to protect themselves from this virus? No. What are you doing other than telling them to be scared of what might just save them? It's terrible. Mr. Farrakhan, you're 87 years old. You're stuck in the flipping past, my friend. I had a lot of respect for you, but that video was just one step too many. You're 87 years old. You're talking to 30-something-year-olds who have 50 years to live to get to your age, and you're telling them to not care. You're telling them this is the devil coming to kill you. You're telling them they're going to wipe out all of you. You've been saying it for donkeys. We're still here, multiplying. We're still here. Those of us who are thriving are thriving in spite of your message. Because all your message is to keep us in that slave mentality. Because you are from that generation. You remember segregation. You remember all that stuff. And you have not reset your button. This video, I hope, makes you have to reset your button, right? And change your message and do better. So I'm going to go into my first video right now, guys. Take a look at part 1 of this video. I'll see you on the other side. Come back. So you say don't take the vaccine. Now what? Now what? What? Just keep dying? For every one white man that dies, 3.5 of your people die. So for every 2 white men that's dead, 7 of your people are dead. Don't take the vaccine. What's your solution? What's your answer? I got some news for you. The white devil, as you call it, are not the only ones in this vaccine race, my friends. Cuba, 70 miles away from you. They're trying. Have you called them? Have you gone to visit them to say, can we work together for a vaccine for my race? Nah, that's not your style, is it? African countries who fought Ebola, Rwanda, Senegal, they're trying right now to build their own vaccines. Have you got in touch with them? That's not your style, is it? Nah. Your style is exactly what you just said in that video. You're an evil preacher, my friend. You are no different from a snake oil salesman. You've got your people where you want them, in the slavery mentality, and you want to keep them right there. Nation of Islam, it's time to get rid of this guy. I'm dead serious. And I don't care what happens to me. I'm going to tell the truth. Is what we do. This is a wake-up time. You see George Floyd? He didn't just cause the awakening against whites. We've also woken up against snake oil salesmen like you, my friend. You like to tell people what not to do, but you don't tell them, you don't give them a solution to their problems. Enough's enough. We've had enough of that, right? You're a preacher of personal agendas. That's what you are. That's what you've always been. You're wealthy, you're comfortable, you're at the top of the food chain, and you know, just like Trump. That's why I compare you. To me, you are the black Trump. You are the black Trump. You see what Trump's doing with his congregation? Because his cult, but they're a congregation. It's just like yours. See what he's doing with them? He's got them where he wants them. They believe everything he says. He tells them elections stolen, they believe it. He tells them raise money, send me money. Since the election, 207 million he's raised. You are no different. You are the Trump of black people. And just like the country has voted Trump out, unfortunately people can't vote you out because you were smart enough not to make a political position. But I told those who care for our race that it's time we get a young leadership in place. People who want to be at the seat. People who want to be involved. People who want to be at the table when things are being discussed. You want to stay at the table. You stay at the table. Let new leadership take over. Guys, I'm going to go over to my next video now. Yeah? So now this is the second part of his one video. Take a look at this. I'm really mad right now. Take a look at this. To genocide and kill you all? Really? To genocide and kill them all? You don't get it? That they are genociding right now because of the COVID. Unless you're going to say the white man invented it to kill the black people, because that's going to be your next spiel, right? You don't get it. You've lost 310,000+ people in your country. If we do the maths, you're probably going to find about 150,000 of them are your people. That's a genocide in less than 1 year. The genocide is going on now. The vaccine, my friend, is not the genocide. Okay? Let's take a look at a couple of things. We seem to forget one thing, guys. You see, the people like you know what you do? You know what you should be doing. You know you should be looking out for your people, and you're not. So when you see people like Bill Gates and other people talking about let's not leave the minorities out, you demonize them because you know you should be doing what they're doing. You think it's just Bill Gates that's fighting for that? Every black professional who have black children and black families just like you is making sure, those who care, are making sure that the minorities are not left behind. You know why? Anything through history, my friends, innovations, opportunity, jobs, wealth, you name it, innovations, anything. Who's at the back of the queue? Who? Right, people that look like me and you, right? Do you think the vaccine will be any different if no one talks up for black people? We'll be at the back of the queue. They'll actually, what you're doing right now is actually playing into the hands of people like Trump. Because I reckon that when Trump first saw the statistics coming out, I think that's why he stayed where he is. He doesn't talk about it. He just let this thing run rampant. Because at the end, when it's all done, if 5 million black people are dead and 1 million white people are dead, Trump will be okay with that. Because he'll know the 1 million white people who died, he might as well call them blacks. As far as he's concerned, he's got rid of 6 million blacks. Did you think about that? Look, this, I mean, like I said, have you reached out to see if any black nations? Senegal is a Muslim nation. I'm sure you could trust them. They were in Islam long before you knew what Islam was called. They're trying to work on a vaccine. You've got a huge amount of wealth. Have you even thought, has it crossed your mind to go and talk to black nations? Let us invent a vaccine for black people. At least then that way you can come to the cameras and say, people, we have something here to save us. Just like they're doing. Just like they're doing right now. With the Pfizer and the Moderna and AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson, all of that. You can do the same if you cared, but you don't care. And my people, let me tell you something. Bill Gates and all these other doctors and black politicians and black civil rights leaders, what they're actually doing is to make sure we don't fall down the cracks. That when this vaccine is rolled out, that everyone gets an equal share or equal opportunity to have it. Just like we want equal opportunity for education. Just like we want equal opportunity for opportunities. Just like we want equal opportunity for, to be in movies, to get awards. We don't get these things. The vaccine is no different. So my people, when you hear people talk about, you see how they slow mode the bit when is it blacks and Native Americans, blacks and Native Americans, blacks and Native Americans, subliminally trying to keep you guys in flipping slavery and keep you scared and make you believe people are coming for you. This guy is nothing but a snake oil salesman. Now, I'm going to show you a clip right now, yeah, of what's happening in your country right now that you're not speaking about, and you definitely are not doing nothing about it. Take a look.
Hodge lost her job in the service industry because of COVID.
You got this on your door.
Last week, Hodge says Fantasia started to realize how bad things were when the family got an eviction notice.
I also don't have anywhere to go because places are so high and I don't have much income.
Black and Latino families consistently report low confidence in the ability to pay rent during the pandemic. According to the National Low-Income Housing Coalition, communities of color are the hardest hit by the eviction crisis and represent 80% of people facing eviction.
Mr. Farrakhan, 80% of your people are facing eviction at the end of this year. 80%. What are you doing about it? Please tell us, right? Because all you guys ever do is you never offer no solutions. You don't do nothing to help. All you do is capitalize on your people's fears, just like Trump, just like snake oil salesman, right? And you know what? Your agenda is to keep people enslaved. And I'm going to show you a video. You see when people say this?
You got that fucked up slave mentality. And you refuse to reprogram your mind. You refuse to wake up. And you refuse to stop being a fucking slave.
It's down to people like you. It's down to elders like you, Mr. Farrakhan. Yes, you spend decades trying to keep your people in that prison in their mind. These people did this to you. We're not the only ones who shit happened to, my friend. We're not the only ones who shit happened to. Everyone else gets over it. You want to remain in it? Remain in it by yourself. This time around, we're done with people like you. We're done with people like you, right? It's down to people like you. People like you need to be gone. You need to be gone. You're way too old, way too stuck in the past for where we are moving forward to today. We need, as a race, to break out of this talk that you constantly spew at our people, and we've had enough of it. Now, this is the final part of his bullshit video. Yes, I said it. I really don't like using bad language on this channel because my 10-year-old watches it. But even my 10-year-old's wiser than the nonsense that's coming out your mouth. Take a look at this last part of the video, guys. Satan, yeah? Satan. You know, like I said, I think you and Trump are the biggest Satans right now on the world stage. I really do. My millennial children, my two older children, I've worked hard all my life to break them out of that slave mentality, and they've done great for that reason. They don't need people like you in the fight coming up in the future, trying to send them right back to what I worked hard my whole life to break them out of. As far as I'm concerned, as of today, you should be insignificant. I urge everyone who watches this video to share it, because this is a new dawn, right? Let's take ourselves. Let me tell you what's going on in your country right now, Mr. Farrakhan. Right now, the new regime in your country, Joe Biden's regime, do you know what they're doing right now? They're making records by the appointments that they're picking. Let me give you a few of them. The first black Secretary of Defense you're about to see start in your country. The first immigrant, literally someone who wasn't born in America, Hispanic guy, I think he's Mexican or Nicaraguan, one of those, who brought to the country, the first person of that background, and who will be running the Department of Homeland Security. That's huge. With the stuff that Trump done to Hispanics on the border, now they have somebody who is an immigrant and understands their pain. He's put that person in that place. Just yesterday, he's appointed the first American Indian person to even serve in a cabinet ever. And you know what position he gave her? Secretary of the Internal. Yeah? With all the beef that American Indians have had, finally they have someone who looks like them, who will have say-so over their lives. What have you done? Are you trying to push someone forward to speak for us? Nah, that's not your style. You think you can change anything by being outside of the game? Has any striker ever helped score a goal from sitting on the bench? You go figure that one out. And while you're figuring that out, you need to reset your button, Mr. Louis Farrakhan. Let me show you a clip of what's going on in your country, just in case you don't know. Take a look at this.
Developing overnight, President-elect Joe Biden making history with 2 more cabinet picks. CNN's Jessica Dean live in Washington for us with the very latest on this. Jessica.
Yeah, good morning to you, John. Some history being made here if they are confirmed by the Senate. Let's start first with New Mexico Representative Deb Haaland, who Biden has tapped to be his Secretary of Interior. If confirmed, she would be the first Native American to serve as a cabinet secretary. And she tweeted about this. She wrote, quote, "A voice like mine has never been a cabinet secretary or at the head of the Department of Interior. Growing up in my mother's Pueblo household made me fierce. I'll be fierce for all of us, our planet, and all of our protected land. I am honored and ready to serve."
Welcome back, guys. Guys, it's time to flip the script on these these people that want to keep people where they are, like Trump. Trump likes to keep his people where they are. You see yourself happening. You just don't think Farrakhan ever did it. I'm telling you, that's what he's done for decades. It's time it becomes insignificant. This is our time now. We need to get ahead. We can't get ahead with slave mentality wrapped up around us. Every minute you're thinking, oh, the white man did to me, or the white man enslaved me 400 years ago. No, they didn't enslave me 400 years ago. Neither did they enslave you, Mr. Farrakhan. It's time to use our energy for positivity. It's time to spread positive message. It's time to tell us what we can achieve, not who to be scared of. It's time to be at the table, not be on the outskirts. American Indians are going to have a better outcome from here on in. Hispanics are going to have a better outcome from here on in. Thanks to Biden, he's putting a lot of black people in that cabinet. Look at Trump's cabinet. See what happened to Hispanics and blacks under Trump? Nothing. And we have someone like Louis Farrakhan who's not even reaching out to Biden to say, look, I want Muslims to be, even fight for Muslims, my friend. I want a Muslim person to be in your cabinet so that Muslim interests can be represented. You're not even doing that. You're a waste of space. Guys, make this video go viral. This is the end of the video. Please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button for more enlightenment and share this video. Subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend. Love you all. See you soon.